Happy Mother's Day well, everyone got a mother. And to the mothers who do watch me, happy Mother's Day. I'm taking a trip to my mother's new house, resting place, spot. I told myself I wasn't gonna go visit the grave like that because I don't need to go to the grave to do what I gotta do. But today is beautiful. Look at, I don't know if you can see that blue sky. So all yesterday, my dad's watching the news, and every 3 seconds they're telling us it's gonna rain, it's gonna be sideways, it's gonna be windy, you don't wanna leave the house. I wake up this morning, I see the sunlight, see the blue sky. I'm like, I might as well. So off we go. And you know, it's not the destination, it's the journey. And we're gonna do what we do on this journey. This hat was made by my mom. When I came home, she's like, I got a surprise for you. I'm the worst person to surprise because what surprises me is usually not what people are surprising me with. Does that make sense? Like, surprise to me is if someone got me a puppy. I don't want no damn puppy. Be surprising to me. Because once I see this puppy, I would fall in love with the puppy because, you know, puppies are cute and they would grow on me, but it's so like left field. But usually when I came home for Christmas, my mom would knit me something, so I already knew what the surprise was. But I was surprised because it's, you know, we Jamaicans, but this isn't black, it's blue, if you can see at the top. I'm like, I didn't want to say anything. Like, Mom, you know that's blue, dark blue, not black. But I think she just ran out of whatever. But whatever, it's unique. It's made by my mom. I rock the shit out of it. But yeah. My dad was wearing his today, so I wore mine. My dad's interesting with the hats. So he has some military hats for my brother. He has some of my old RG hats. And then he has the one that Mom made him. And his sister gave him a hat when she went to Israel. So he'd just be alternating between hats. Usually when he goes outside, he's rocking the army hat. Usually when he's in the house, he's rocking the hat I got him. The last hat, so the RG hat kind of faded into oblivion. And it's up in the attic on the floor collecting dust. I don't know the story about that, but that's where it's at. But it was worn. It was loved. And he has a knitted hat, or a Scully with my logo on it. The hat he's wearing now is maybe 5 years ago I came home. 5 years I came home, Christmas, and I bought my parents number one dad and number one mom hats, Ichiban. And that was interesting because I usually get back to the house from, I get home late, so it was like maybe 1 a.m. And we sat down there and we were just talking till 3 a.m. I'm showing them pictures and teaching them a little Japanese. So yeah. But yeah. This path I'm walking is the path I always walked when I was going to work, where I showed you yesterday in the parking lot of Long John Silver's. I used to walk this path. And I'm super slow when it comes to washing dishes, which my dad kind of banned me from washing dishes because I'm slow and I just have that water running. You know, and he's just like, his method is fill up a sink and then wash everything in that water and then save that water and you recycle it and use the same nasty ass water for the next day. So he's like, don't do no dishes. But when I used to work at Long John Silver's, maybe the shift ended at 12, but I'm slow with it. So and I'm messing around with my colleagues. So I wouldn't leave there until like 3 a.m. Overtime. I wasn't even thinking about overtime. I'm just slow like that. Or when I started reading Stephen King books, I'd be walking like this with my book, because we didn't have cell phones back then. I mean, we had Walkmans. But I'd be walking with my Stephen King book, reading in the dark, getting all weirded out. Because when I read, Stephen King is like really detailed with his, man, this guy down here. Well, when we get to that spot, you know what's gonna happen. But it's really meticulous, like, and then the guy was walking and he passed a tree and he coughed. As I'm walking, I pass a tree and I'm coughing, like, oh shit, I got whatever pandemic-like thing. You know how Stephen King be. But yeah. Or I'll be rapping to my Walkman of beats. Did I have a Walkman? Nah, well, I had a CD Walkman. All right, we're gonna run by this guy real quick. In my years of living, I've never did that kind of job. Like landscaping. I did shoveling. I guess that's similar. One time, like they sold lights, appliances, kind of like a Circuit City, Radio Shack kind of place. Home Depot looking kind of place. So one year I went there and I said, I'll shovel your sidewalk for a pack of batteries. Batteries going, what, $30? Sidewalk was hella long. Maybe I got 48 batteries. I got a lot of batteries. I got hustled. But I had that hustling spirit. Let's see. One time it was raining and it was cold and it was icy. And I was like right there. And someone like, stop. Beep, beep. You want to ride? Because I was going over there, Long Island Silver. I'm like, sure. Now I know you ain't supposed to get in a car with strangers, but I don't know. This is before all them movies came out. So I wasn't really worried about what they would do to me. I used to work at Taco Bell. One day, I don't know what happened. I think I got hired at another place and I just never went back. But I was there for one day. I think I did that twice. I got hired Pandora, the bread place. I remember going there, getting hired, and then quitting. Because I don't know, I just quit. Alright, let's see, at 8 minutes. See, I'm trying to time this so I will arrive at my mom's place at 41 minutes. I couldn't find the cemetery, so I couldn't GPS it, but I have a feeling that it's gonna work out. Because this is my old stomping ground. Should be about right. You can't see it, but behind there is a Kmart. I used to work at Kmart. When I was working there was a red-headed Matthew, same last name as I. It was interesting. My parents would always come there. I mean, they always shopped there, but they would go out of their way to find me. It's cute. So yeah, moms. I have a request. All of y'all out there who got a mom, can you give them a hug on my behalf? So it's got to be something like this. You just go up to your mom, you give her a hug, and she said, "Why are you hugging me?" Again, assuming you already hugged with your mom. And he said, "Well, this random guy who used to live in Japan, who now moved back to the States, was walking to his mom's grave." You don't got to put in the grave, that sounds all sad. he wanted you to hug. He wanted me to hug you on behalf of him. Something like that. Of all the years I lived here, I've never walked on this side. I'm always on that side. Cut up that way. Long time ago, my brother let me borrow his car, right? I must have been like 18. And it was, I don't know, a little car. And we got to this intersection right here, and it stalled. And there was this big truck coming. Obviously, nothing happened because, you know, I'm here. Had two friends in there. Yo. It is beautiful, man. And how we get across? This one. Should just ran. I think I will run. No, I am not gonna run. I want to live. Oh, we could have went up. Yeah. One thing I like, or one thing that's different about Japan, usually an intersection like this, there'd be a little bridge going up and over, or one going under and over, up and over, down and under. Australian shortcut. We got fake lights in America, or Easton. You push the button, but they don't work. They're there to make you think they're working, so you don't run across and kill yourself. I guess it has a purpose. All right, we going. Got across in the midway. I don't think I've ever been with my mom on Mother's Day for the past, I want to say 20 years, because after high school I was in college. I didn't come home for Mother's Day, and then I'm off in Japan, and now I'm back, and yeah. So this might be the first time that I'm in the same continent, same time zone. So maybe this Mother's Day trip is significant. But I was gonna bring flowers. I thought about it, but I don't know. All the stores where the flowers would be sold are not on this street, so it's like detouring, and yeah, I just didn't feel like it. All right, we got one on the first bush. All right, there's no sidewalk on this side. We might have to cross over. Yeah, I might cross over. Be on a sidewalk. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Alright, we're not gonna cross over because we're almost, well, not almost there, but I don't think anyone's gonna hit me. I used to work at when I was working at Kmart, I also worked at a nursing home as a cook. Not a cook like restaurant cook, but preparing the ready-made stuff. And I think I was a dishwasher there too, a slow dishwasher. And I remember we got to eat the food that was left over, and they were banging, man. They were banging. So My mom used to work there too. She worked a different shift, different time, different location. But so I never seen her. But we were working twice. We worked at the same place. Another time, she got me a job at the factory she worked at, so we would go in together. So this surprised me. One time we're driving, and my mom's like, "Yeah, I heard this song on the radio, and it sounded like you." I'm like, "What's that?" And then it came on, and it was Chingy right there. Okay. I wasn't seeing it, but the fact that my mom is like, going to work and like, "Oh, this sounds like my son." That's nice, I guess. I mean, it could have been worse. I actually saw Chingy in person in Japan at Bay Hall. For those of you who know Bay Hall. Bay Hall is this big club, blah, blah, blah. So, he goes there to perform. No, he didn't perform. He just stood on stage with his arms crossed. Maybe the money wasn't right, but that's what they played his music. He just stood on stage with his arms crossed. It was really weird, but it didn't matter because he's a B star, levels A, maybe a C star by that point. His music's not on the radio, but it's enough to get his face on the flyer and him to stand on stage and not perform. All right, we're at 16. Yeah, I might have timed this out just right. Let's see. It's crazy, man. The weather in Easton is hot, it's cold, it's wet, it's dry. When I be looking at my friends in Japan, it's hot. It looks like it's consistently warm, and they're all like chilling on the beach and shit. I'm out here. Do I gotta wear my coat today? But it is what that is. Speaking about Japan, someone asked me, they said, am I ever going back to Japan? Don't this look like a cherry blossom? That's a really cute tree. It's the best I got. Because most of the trees are not cute. But am I going back to Japan eventually? Well, it really depends. Unfortunately, if my father passes away today, then I would be going back tomorrow. Like, it would be that, because I mean, I'm slowly getting back into the groove of things. But I mean, we're segueing out of here. So the other day, Friday, my friend took me out, and we went to a karaoke bar, which ironic, because Japan, I don't think because I asked him, Japan is known for karaoke bars? Like, nah, I didn't know that. So it wasn't like, we're trying to give you a little piece of Japan in America. So you go to this bar, and you open up the door, and because we never been there, we walk in there, and everyone's looking at the two random people who are coming, because it seems like everyone knew each other. Some Cheers shit. And we walk in there, and there was this guy singing. He reminded me, like, for those of you who watch those movies, but remember Temptations and the 5 Heartbeats? The one dude who got like strung out, and then he came back, and he could still sing, but he just didn't look in the form that he was. So this one guy reminded me of him. Now, I feel bad saying that, because I don't know nothing. That's right, double negatives. I don't know nothing about him, and he seemed like a nice guy. He was just out there enjoying himself, singing the songs he sang, and he could sing. And he was doing like the dances they would do in that time period. He had the haircut they would have in that time period. It looked like he came out of that time period. And I'm just thinking, wow, Japan's really different, because in Japan, we got little boxes, and it's all like shinier, if that makes sense. Here is just a bar with one TV. But So we sit down and my friend gets me drinks. He said, "What do you drink?" Hello. Usually I drink Sprite. That's my go-to, or cranberry juice. So he gets me a Sprite. And he gets me another Sprite. But I can't drink so many Sprites because then I get all Sprited out, you know? You don't get buzzed off a Sprite. So then I let it sit there, and then it gets all watery and shit. And it's already watered down when they came out the little... So then I'm like, I want a cranberry. And when I got the cranberry, it tasted... like, there's cranberry in my house right now. It is smooth, and it tastes normal. When I be at the bar and I ask for a cranberry, it tastes different. Like they're gonna make a cranberry, but then they added some alcohol because that's what they're used to. No one really orders plain cranberry, and then they're like, oh, whatever, and they kind of... So I can never drink a cranberry. I just leave it there every time, unless I see them get it. So contrast, right? Once I went to this hotel, random guy. I think he reached out to me because he saw one of my videos, and he's like, we got to meet up. And he invited me to like the Hilton where he was staying or something, and he was up on like on the top floor. We're sitting there in the bar, and he's like, "What do you drink?" I'm like, "I don't drink. Can I get a cranberry?" He said, "You got cranberry?" She's like, "No, hold on." She ran down, like we're on the 30th floor or something. She went all the way down, went to the store, came back up, and poured out cranberry. That's Japan, you know. But this guy, we didn't get along because I don't know what we were talking about, but I said something, and he's like, he said something to the effect, "No, you can't think, you should know this." And I'm like, how can I know what I don't know, you know? And there's another pretty tree. These trees are nice. If I was in Japan, I'd sit underneath it and do something. It'd be a little weird if I'm out here sitting on someone's property under the tree doing something. All right, we're making progress. All right. We're all inceptioning it. All right. So, cranberry juice bar. So we're at the karaoke place, right? And he never been to a karaoke place, and my kryptonite is karaoke places. I'm not a big, what do you call it, rap someone else's music. That makes no sense. I make my own music. So I always get thrown off because then when I do sing a song, I'm trying to sing it good, but this is bad. Plus people are watching you. I get all nervous, and I'm not drunk. That's probably the biggest thing. I don't drink. So when all these drunk people are up there thinking they're singing and they're not really singing, like this one woman, I couldn't age her. Clearly she has to be above, I guess, 21, but she had like a young, just out of high school face. And she kept singing. She got up there. She must have did like 10 songs. It was her showcase. And she was butchering the hell out of songs. And, you know, people, like she did a Mary J. Blige, "I'm Going Down." And she was like, "I'm going down." Like, she's enjoying her time. But it was just bad. And then as you look around and people are like, so, you know, it's America. People judge you like that. So the person who's in charge of this, her face is on the flyer. So I guess she runs these karaoke type events. She said, "You gonna sing?" And my friend's like, "Yeah, he's gonna sing." And she kept coming over. So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll sing. I'm thinking about a song." So the first song I was singing, Boyz II Men. I could kill some. I know the words. That's the first thing. I need to know the words to a song. So I know most of the Boyz II Men songs. But you know, they're 4-part harmony, blah, 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 blah. Now I was singing a Christmas song, but it's not Christmas time, but you know, everybody would be into it because it's... And then this one popped in my mind. Donell Jones. I think that's his name. The when you love someone, you just don't treat them. So it's a song where you don't got to go into falsetto. You don't got to get too deep. And it's a good song. It's nice. And I think I would be able to sing the words on the screen without. But then she's like, let's do a song together. I'm like, how about Usher, Alicia, My Boo? She's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now, I've done this song in Japan. Maybe I went to karaoke 10 times. Half the times it was with my girlfriends. 2 times it was to see if someone could really sing, because I was trying to collaborate. The other times it had nothing to do with music, if you know what I mean. Actually, there's other times. Another time was just because I needed a place to sleep. Another time I needed it because my band, remember we were on TV? We practiced in a karaoke. But yeah. But so the song comes on after, like, it was packed. People were like singing 10 songs in a row. So it took like an hour and 10 minutes from that point. And I'm all nervous. I'm like, whatever. So then the song comes up. I get the mic. You know, Usher starts. But it was just weird. The music was low. I didn't want to hold this mic because everybody is all like making love to this mic, and I ain't trying to get what they got on it. And yeah. Well, we made it. We're early. Let's see here. I thought there'd be more people here because it's not raining. Mother's Day. I guess people come and go. I don't know how long you stay at a funeral. So my church that I used to go to is actually back there. Interesting, right? Hey, it looks like my mom got flowers. No, it's not her grave. That's not my mom's grave. Alright, where are you at, Mom? Oh, you're over here. This is my mom's grave. Okay, so I came here to ask my mom a question, so one moment. Actually, I'll tell you the question I'm at. So, whenever I talk to my mom, she'd be like, you know, what's going on? I'd tell her, you know, my music prospects or whatever, my art. And she'd always say, you know, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep trying, you know, do your best. Now I'm at a pivotal point. Do I double down on the music here and try to make my mark where I'm technically starting at 0 again? I got more competition. It's like, if you know Blue Ocean, Red Ocean, it's really bloody in the States. I'm competing with little kids, competing with cats. Or do I just give it up? That's what I want to ask my mom. And I don't think she's going to tell me the answer, but you guys listening, so go somewhere where I'm going to ask. Well, I heard a crow say, yeah. So maybe she's speaking through the crow, and she's like, yeah, do it. All right, I got my answer. We're going all in. Yeah. Oh, man. 30 minutes? not that bad. If I didn't start from my house because I was trying to measure it out. So if I would have left from my doorstep to here, it would probably be 40 minutes. But so back to the story. We were in a karaoke place. People are singing. They're off key. Then my time comes up to sing Usher, and I just was thrown off. I didn't know where to start. And they're like, "Dude, it's your turn." And I don't even know the words. All I know is my boo, oh my boo. And then my friends are watching me, and it it was the worst. It was so bad that the girl, the woman who's there, she didn't even say good job. She just but yeah. So then I want to redeem myself. I was gonna go look for my song I was gonna sing. And we walk over there because even my friend was like, okay, I'll do something. So we go up there, and this woman sitting in front of this one karaoke machine thing with her arms crossed, just looking at us like, not even like, just looking like, what the fuck you doing here kind of look. And I was gonna say, can you move? And she's like, it's closed. Like, she was just rude about it. Like, how are we supposed to know the rule? So I didn't get to redeem myself, and my friend, he got to. But he said this to me. He's like, all right, well, this is going to be your spot now. I'm like, oh, no, this can't be my spot. And he kept saying, like, yeah, this is where I don't want to go back there. I'm not saying that it's a bad place. I'm not saying that in that way. I just mean, I don't, like, I want to be on a yacht. Nah, I don't want to be on a yacht. But I want to be where I want to be. But because I'm like I can close my eyes and think, if I was 1 year ago, what would I be doing? Probably in my house. I wasn't really going out as much. But if I did go out, I'm going to Shibuya. I'm going to Roppongi. I'm just doing some crazy shit. And if this is my new thing, that's depressing. Wow, these cars are gonna zoom on out here like that? All right, they gonna let me go. So then when I got home, I'm like, there's no way So I got my, as I said, I had my book, which I haven't really read since I bought it, about freelancing. So I read like 2 chapters that night. I read some more the next day, and I started to dig into what I need to do. Because right now, I guess the biggest thing is I need customers. When I was YouTubing, customers came. I didn't really, but when I stopped doing it, like, it just kind of, like, at one point people used to be like, yo man, will you rap on my track, or blah 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 blah, wear my shirt, blah blah blah. So I gotta build all that up again, or I just gotta find my customers and target them, because they're out there. There's people who need my services. So what I was asking my mom is, you know, a lot of these services, like there's a thing on Twitter, or it's a tool that you can search through hashtags to find, like, so there's people right now that write, I need beats, and they put their email address. Now you could go organically or go one by one, but that's tedious. I'm not doing it that way. There's a tool where you could just kind of put in your criteria and it just spits out a list. You see me jump when that shit popped? But these tools are not free. Like, they got the free ones, but you can't do shit with the free version. You gotta, like, bump up to the next one. And it's not even, it's like, what, $15, $20? But you need a whole slew of these things. You need your CRMs, you need your da-da-da-das. But yeah, it is beautiful out. 34, we got a few more minutes before I So usually what happens on these walks after we finish talking, I put on my headphones and then I get inspired. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm in the house and I was doing these freestyles in the house, in the attic. And they're okay. But when I'm walking outside and freestyling, that's when it's like, it's hitting. But I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do my outside freestyles yet. Still working on that. But yeah, that's what happens. Yesterday. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me 5 more minutes. So yeah, Japan is still in the picture, depending on how long it takes for me to return. If I were to go back tomorrow, I could basically resume the jobs that I had. As you know, just it's only been like 6 months, whatever. My visa is still valid. You're supposed to surrender your visa if you have no intention of coming back. I had a 3-year visa, and I didn't know the future, so I kept my my card. And if I come back in 1 year, it is what it is. If I overstay, then it's gonna be voided out or some shit like that. I never did this. I don't know how that works. So yeah. Now, I ain't wishing for my dad to depart this earth any sooner than he wants to. He wants to live to be 150. Then that's the next scenario. Then I'm not going to be spending a lot of time outside the country when my dad needs me, right? So I think someone asked the question. I think I already said that, but that's what it is. Another question I was asked when I left, what did my companies do? Which is a great question. I didn't want to talk about this because it is what it is. But they didn't do shit. Like my ALT gig that I've been there at like 9 years, 8 years, never was late, never called off for the first 5 years, 6 years. Didn't really give any problems outside of, you know, I don't know why I need to be sitting at my desk when all the kids already went home. It's time for me to go home. That was always a problem. I mean, I did get my master's sitting at the desk, but I got in trouble for that 1 year. Like, you shouldn't be at the school doing your master's. Like, again, the kids are not here. So these are the problems that I would have, right? Or I had a problem where we had to turn in our little stamp sheets. We had to mail them, and I mailed one once and it got lost, and I'm going back to the post office like, yeah, where did it go? And like da-da-da-da-da. And then I go to the office, and this dude who might have been older than me is like, listen here, boy. He didn't say boy, but he had that kind of that rude approach, all right? And I felt like, you know what, I'm gonna quit. You don't talk to me that way. But so that was for the most part. And then I found out that your days, if you have 10 days, if you have 10 days off and you don't use them, then when you get your next 10, you'd have 20. But apparently they don't roll over like that. You just always have 10. And you can't cash them out or anything. That kind of made me upset. So then I just started using them, not when I was sick. Like, I don't get sick like that. It'd be on some, you want to have a photo shoot? I only could do it in the morning. No worries, I'm sick that day. Like that. So, towards the end, different people changed, different managers came. And there was a manager that, I mean, he was perfect for the job. I have no qualms with the guy. As I said, he was perfect for the job. Like an ass kisser kind of guy. A by the book kind of guy. No remorse. Oh, I'm sorry your head just fell off. You still got to fill out this form, and I need to see your ID. Like, my head just fell off. So we got into it a couple of times. And again, when he started pressing me about shit, I told him, listen, I don't need this job. I will quit right now if you don't leave me alone. Yeah, I said that. Because it got to that point, like, I'm not one of these new guys that worked here. Because what they were doing basically is every year they would take away something that was just normal. Like, I'm pretty sure at one point they did have the rollover days, time off, whatever. But when they take it, they don't tell you, right? We used to have like 2 full months of summer vacation. Then it went to 6 weeks. Then it went to 4 weeks. Then it went to, throughout the 2 months, they're going to have you do random things. And if you don't want to do those random things, you got to take the days off. So if you just started working there, it'd be like, well, this is just what it is. And Japan is so great. But if you've been there long enough, it's like, we didn't do that last year. And if you say, we hit the 41, but we're going to let that roll over a little bit. So if you talk about like, well, you signed a contract and we never said that we had to do these things. But so anyway, so when my dad got sick, I had to, so I was working at the school, and the teacher, she was just really a bad teacher, bad person. And, you know, we got into it because by this time, you know, by this time, you know, I know how to do my job. So if I came in there, I can make my whole lesson plan like 2 seconds. I don't need to be there preparing. So if I don't have classes, I'm probably doing something outside. Anyway, she told me one day, you know, you got to be in your seat because that's the time you're supposed to be scheduled. And I said, doing what? And she said, that's your job. I didn't like that. So then I told her I'm taking a half day off tomorrow. So do something about the schedule. I said, and we're in the middle of the teacher's room just going at it, which, so then I call my company to preemptively strike, say, listen, this teacher's being a SOB. And then they call the school, and the school's like, yeah, Matthew's a great teacher. And this teacher is a bad teacher. But, you know, we can't do anything about it. So then for the next 2 months, it's like, I got to sit here and be accosted by this woman. Luckily, because whatever she was doing, she had it on lock. Nobody bothered her. The principal didn't bother her. Other teachers didn't bother her. She was just like king of her domain. I come into the picture like, that ain't gonna fly with me. Anyway, so she ended up taking leave. So for 2 months, 3 months, she wasn't there, so everything's fine. But then she came back, blah, blah, blah. So my school didn't do anything. My company didn't do shit about that. They're just like, Matthew, just, you know, like they didn't have my back. Anyway, so I go home because my dad is sick. And I had to talk to this guy that I don't like, but everything's cordial, you know, whatever. And then I talked to the top guy who, he went to Temple like me. He used to make beats like me. And we talk, and he's like commending me. It is so respectable that you didn't just quit. And I said, man, shit happens, man. We can't change shit. He's like, I respect that. You're great. I'm like, whatever. So then I go home, and then all that shit goes down. I send the email like, yeah, my mom passed. And then nothing. And the next time it's like, all right, when you coming back to Japan? We gotta do the paperwork. Do you want to go to your school? I get back from Japan. I email them like, whenever it's time to go visit the school, let's do that. They don't respond to me, so I'm just gonna roll up there myself. Then they get back to me, and then there was some more paperwork, and that was it. I didn't get a condolence card. I didn't get flowers. I didn't get shit. I didn't get a call from the top dog who makes beats and used to work and go to school at Temple, and I didn't get, on my birthday they sent me a card. Happy birthday. But nothing. And it is what it is, man. They're not your friends. Or they weren't my friend. And, so I probably wouldn't work at that company. But the other company I worked at, they didn't do anything either, but the job's pretty comfortable. They don't really bother you. There's no meetings. As far as my housing, once I left, basically when I go back to Japan, I got to start everything back from zero. Hooray, hurrah. Which, you know, I already did it. I don't think it would have changed that much. But we are now at 46, and we're going to end this video right here. So once again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who are watching, or to the people who have mothers, which is everyone. Happy Mother's Day to them too. And yeah, peace.